This is a real good story about Drew, a real United Airlines customer.
After almost 4 years of treatments, I was finally cancer-free. My mom's like, where do you want to go to celebrate? I'm like, let's go somewhere tropical. And then Pilot hopped on the intercom and started talking about me, and I was like, what is going on here?
My wife beat cancer too, and I wanted to celebrate his special moment.
That's Bill, a real United pilot.
We brought him drinks and donuts. We all signed a card.
I was smiling ear to ear. Best flight ever for sure.
That's how good leads the way.
The clock's running out on December deal drops at Lowe's, but there's still time to wrap up something they'll love. Shop great gifts under $50, like the DeWalt Elite Series 100-piece bit set. Plus, if you order by 2 p.m., you can get same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop December deal drops while you can. Lowe's, we help, you save. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items, subject to availability. Fees vary. Details at lowes.com/same-day delivery.
Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild with me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan? Brave the Wild is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps and also, of course, on the Hockey Podcast Network, THPN. Want to thank Dylan and Kyle for having me on board that awesome network and website. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today as the Minnesota Wild. It's a brand new era. It's a different vibe. The team had been playing well, generally speaking, but now you're hearing national pundits talking about the Minnesota Wild as like they might go crazy and win the whole darn thing. So maybe, who knows? But wouldn't that be something? But this past week, the Wild played 4 games and went, guess what? 4-0. That's right, 4-0, an amazing. Things look amazing. You just wish that this was like late April, early May, mid-May, late May, early June, mid-June. Yeah, that kind of thing. Hopefully, the Wild are playing close to this level, if not absolutely at this level, when it matters most. So far, they have not done that. Okay, I guess they kind of did in '93. They kind of sort of did. In a couple of years, yes. Obviously, they beat Colorado. They beat St. Louis in the first round, only to lose to the Blackhawks. But, there isn't a Blackhawks type of team, but there is the Avalanche, there is the Stars. Those are teams that the Wild have struggled against historically. Of course, the Wild have beaten Colorado twice in a postseason series. They've lost once. The one time the Wild had home ice advantage, they lost. And, of course, Dallas, it's been not too pleasant at all. Again, you just hope that the Wild can be playing at or near this level when it matters most. I'm going to try not to go over the top game review because this is more of, again, I want to evolve this show more into like topical. Can do game review and topics, kind of meshing them together. I guess you can try to do that depending on how things go, depending on each show. Each show kind of has its own identity. And, that's reality. That's how podcasts are and radio shows and everything else. But just an awesome vibe, a wonderful feeling. You feel great. Obviously, you're reserved a little bit. Most of us are because we've been, we've had our hopes up with every team we've ever had, pretty much. 91 Twins had their 15-game winning streak, and back then, it felt kind of okay. Like, the Twins won the World Series in '87, and maybe, just maybe, this might be another World Series title, and it ended up actually happening, even though it was way back in June at the time of the 15-game win streak. But it's like, oh my God, they went from last to first. This is pretty cool. 15-game winning streak is not something you joke about. That is serious stuff, except for last year's Twins, and they had a huge winning streak in it. Well, we'll move on from that. Speaking of the Twins, Craig Leopold is now a minority owner with the Minnesota Twins, so that's interesting. He was kind of announced as one of the minority owners. So, yes, there was a human being mixed in. It wasn't just like companies and holding companies and banks and stuff, but there was that too. Yes, so we'll see how that all turns out at the end of the day. Get off of that again. What a fun vibe. And again, a lot of people will ask, what's the next move? As a poll that, well, it didn't have as many votes as I was hoping, but it's still a number of votes. It's still a good number, just not, let's just say, not quite as many as some of those polls that Crease Assist get. But then again, I was kind of late to the party once again. That's how it goes. Most of the people had probably already voted on that one, so it is what it is, and that's fine. Why am I getting into all this? Apologize. The Wild did beat the Dallas Stars. This is before there was even a Quinn Hughes conversation, not even a glit in our eye. Yes, Quinn Hughes is potentially available, and yeah, but he's probably going to wind up in New Jersey, and yeah, we know. That's how it usually goes. Everybody goes everywhere else. This game felt like the Wild were going to lose. Also, Jason Robertson scoring early. It's like, oh, that figures. Of course, Jason Robertson scores against the Wild for the 5,000th time, because that's just how it is. Matt Duchene is still there. Yep, the Wild would tie it up. The Wild would go down 2-1. It's like, yeah, we're going to lose. And we didn't. The Minnesota Wild didn't lose. They end up taking a 3-2 lead and scoring 2 empty netters. Marcus Johansson, who's now hurt, unfortunately, had to have 2 goals in the game. Joel Eriksson, who had a great week last week, had another great week this week. Couple of points here. Boldy with 3. Kaprizov with a single assist. And who'd have thunk in a million years Zeev William would be playing his last game with the Minnesota Wild, unless somehow, someway he comes back later in his career. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Marcus Johansson came back. So did Gustafs, whatever, the guy last year. We'll get off of that. You never know, though. Zeev William would actually record an assist in his final game with the Minnesota Wild, with the Dallas Stars, against the Dallas Stars, to be more fair. Who'd have thunk Vladimir Tarasenko would suddenly start factoring in the scoring one way or another? It's like, it's like the floodgates open. A couple of assists in this one, and it's like, all of a sudden Vladimir Tarasenko his timing is coming back, and he's starting to look like Vladimir Tarasenko a little bit. Hopefully you can do that once again in the springtime, when there's a lot more sunlight and it's warmer out and there's no snow. And yeah, except but the rinks are still frozen, which is the way it's supposed to be. But wouldn't that be nice if Vladimir Tarasenko starts looking closer to St. Louis in 2019? Vladimir Tarasenko when it matters most. Wouldn't that be exciting? Oh yeah, and this Quinn Hughes guy, this guy, he's only 5'10" though. Yeah, but just kidding. Yeah, this defenseman the Wild acquired, who happens to be the second best defenseman in hockey. It's kind of funny. We keep talking about the second best. Yeah, because we know Cale Makar. He's Ray Bourque. He's Bobby Orr, whatever he is for the. And of course, he's from the Boston area, which is kind of cool when you think about that. But yeah, Cale Makar, the modern day Bobby Orr, I guess you could say, playing for Colorado of all teams. And then Dallas has Heiskanen, who we just beat in the 5-2 victory. The Ottawa game, it's like, yep, here we go. The vibe is crazy. Everybody's excited. Ends up being an extremely close game after the Wild would take a 2-0 lead. Ottawa would come back, tie it up. There's your 2-goal lead. That's the most dangerous lead in hockey. Juracek getting in there, Kierstead getting in there, because, well, Zeev Williams gone, and you also have injuries like, unfortunately, Brodin's hurt. Quinn Hughes just simply not available yet. It's too early, so on and so forth. Didn't have all of his stuff. His mom apparently helped him, which is cool. Kind of get things packed up, because it's kind of an inconvenient situation, but it's okay. Marcus Johansson will record 2 more assists. Good for him. He just continues to rack up the points. He's had a heck of a year for Minnesota. Ryan Hartman had a strong week as well, scoring a goal in this one. Pitlick would finally score, which tweet out. Where was the Twitter? Could save this for fan interaction. I'll just read it now. What's more surprising, the Wild acquiring Quinn Hughes or Tyler Pitlick finally scoring a goal? Maybe Pitlick scoring a goal. I'll read what Derek responded right now, and I could read it again later too. I would be more surprised if a Minnesota Wild player converted on a breakaway. Yep, I understand that one. Didn't I think Boldy eventually did on one, right? Yep, eventually they started doing that too, which is pretty crazy. But no, that's true. I mean, it was like they couldn't even convert on a bleeping breakaway, which is really frustrating. Of course, the poll is going to fan interaction. So, yep, they got a few comments. Got a number of comments, and more than when I've been, just kind of, just kind of starting the show up. Derek gave me a cool lightning round, and of course I had a Friday night special last week upon the Quinn Hughes trade. Those are fun. Some of those nighttime specials that I do Friday, Saturday night. Usually it's Saturday night during the postseason. I didn't have those little specials. It's like, generally it's like, no, I'm not. This is generally not a Saturday night show, but certain situations can lead to that, like playoffs and such, and it's entertaining. The Wild have had some nice playoff series. They just don't finish them, which is annoying. Urov would get an assist in this one. Little did we know how wonderful a game we'd have coming up against Washington, along with Tarasenko, who actually didn't record a point in this one, but that's okay considering what a week Tarasenko wound up having. 17 minutes for Tarasenko versus the Ottawa Senators. Again, this was just kind of like you're just waiting with bated breath. Damon Hunt would be on the second pairing and get almost 21 minutes in the game, which must have felt really exciting for him. I'm sure it did. Faber, of course, again, the lead defenseman, 28 minutes. Incredible right there, waiting for his future pairing mate there. The right side, left side with Quinn Hughes. Jesper Wallstedt, another stellar performance. Again, I mean, Ottawa would definitely have their chances in this one. 36 shot attempts. Not every shot attempt is like, holy crap, but still, they would have their opportunities. And Ottawa just about beat us until Jules Eriksson was set up kind of in the corner. You could call it kind of a corner shot. Up against the wall, put it on net, and it went right on in there. And it's like, oh my God. And this was just, this was with 23 seconds remaining in the game. Great setup by Marcus Johansson. Just an amazing season for Johansson. 15 assists. It feels like he has more like 30. But it was a beautiful play. Again, about 24 seconds remaining in the game. Jules Eriksson would put the right angle on, and the Minnesota Wild would escape with a victory without having to go to overtime. The devastation I can only imagine for Ottawa. Thinking, man, we tied this up. We can at least get a point out of this road game. And they wind up with absolutely nothing. So we've been there. We've done that. Gopher Hockey certainly been there against Michigan State. Don't even get me started on that. Of course, with a certain Wild prospect playing there as well, named Vladimir Tarasenko. Yep, and I just saw one of the plays where I can imagine, where Derek was frustrated. Urov would have a really nice breakaway all by himself. And no. It's just like, doggone it. So, or whatever swear words you might have. Maryland would have a solid game, generally speaking, but Jules Eriksson would be clutch and finish the victory. Let's get to the Quinn Hughes games here and talk some more Quinn Hughes going forward. Boston Bruins, Quinn Hughes would come to the Minnesota Wild. He would be out there, number 43. He would score a goal fairly late in the game. Almost had 2 goals. Great passing by Kaprizov, but unfortunately he was able to finish on that one. Gustafsson and net, generally the main goalie, even though Wallstedt's been the bigger star, so to speak. But Gustafsson would have a pretty good week, wouldn't he? Because he got a shutout versus Washington, didn't he? That's right. But Gustafsson would give up only 2 goals in this one, a 6-2 thrashing to the hands of the Boston Bruins. If I'm saying that correctly, probably not. Ryan Hartman would have 3 points in this one. Again, a very strong week for him. Kubel with an assist. He's remaining in the lineup because the Wild don't have a couple of forwards. One named Marco Rossi, of course, who was injured, but now skating for the Vancouver Canucks. 2 games so far, and no points for Marco Rossi. 2 points for Zeev Bouillon, a goal and an assist. Pretty crazy to think about that. His first game, I believe he had a goal and an assist. Second game, nothing. And then Liam Ogren would score his first goal in like 2 years. Again, simply putting the puck on net, and the puck would slide past the goalie and in. And good for him. And it's about time. I mean, I can imagine the feeling for Liam Ogren, like finally, maybe getting some of that pressure off of him. And also skated out there for 12 minutes, not like, 5 to 8 minutes, which is just not going to get it done at the end of the day. Marcus Johansson would skate for about 8 minutes in this one and go out with injury after getting another assist in this Boston game. So disappointing there to see Johansson join the list of injuries. Tarasenko also, again, no points in this one. Somehow he managed wound up with a -1. Not the best situation there. That kind of sucks. 18.5 minutes. Boldy would have a goal and an assist and score. And a nice one on this one. Kaprizov, a couple of goals. One an empty netter along the way. But hey, we'll take any goals we can get. Again, Quinn Hughes scoring as well in this one. And the crowd just went absolutely nuts. Everybody's insanely excited when it comes to Quinn Hughes being on the Minnesota Wild, and who could blame him at the end of the day, as you get the quickness, the defense, the spectacular offense, the great skating ability, the stick handling, the passing, and the shot as well. Beautiful. Only his third goal. I mean, he's not the spectacular goal scorer, but generally playmaker and generally makes your team better, which is, exciting beyond belief. You'd get to see Quinn Hughes wear the Christmas colors versus Boston and the North Star colors versus the Washington Capitals. So you already have seen Quinn Hughes in both jerseys. The only one remaining now is the white road jersey, the road white. And we'll see what happens. Of course, you even have the retro 2000s that the Wild may wear a few more times this year coming up. But, man, that felt good seeing Quinn Hughes score his first goal in this game versus Boston. I do believe he lived in Boston for a little while, but generally Michigan. Was born in Orlando, Florida, but just he was born there. He didn't live there for very long. Wound up being a Detroit or Michigan person, as you'll hear in his a clip from his press conference that we're going to play later, talking about Quinn Hughes' future in Minnesota, as it's looking pretty positive. Pretty positive. It's not like, even all of us thought that. I'm almost forgetting the guy's name already. The shortstop for the Twins, that everybody was Carlos Correa. Everybody was all, oh my God, we got him, but it's only 1 year and he's going to leave.
The clock's running out on December deal drops at Lowe's, but there's still time to wrap up something they'll love. Shop great gifts under $50, like the DeWalt Elite Series 100-piece bit set. Plus, if you order by 2 p.m., you can get same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop December deal drops while you can. Lowe's, we help, you save. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items. Subject to availability. Fees vary. Details at lowes.com/same-day delivery.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Systane Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Systane Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Is it just me, or has watching TV gotten way too complicated? There are a million different services and too many bills to keep track of. Thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love. MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it. Plus, everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with Ads Plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. There are no contracts, no surprise fees, just one low price. And their DVR is awesome, too. I can save everything I love for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. A total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv. And if you subscribe today, you can get $8 off your first month. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one. Deciding what to binge next.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices. We'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Go to the Mets. He's going to go to the Dodgers, the Angels, wherever the heck a lot of these players wind up usually. And but in his case, he had some kind of a chronic issue with his foot, and teams like the Mets and the Giants eventually would change their mind after signing him and wound up staying with the Twins, and was disappointing. I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. It's just funny how everybody thought Carlos Correa was going to leave, and he was going to leave, but whoops, there's that one chronic issue. In this case, it's the total opposite. Quinn Hughes, is a pretty healthy guy. Yeah, no. And the vibes sound very positive about him actually staying, not just kind of hanging around for a year to wait for his next big contract, that type of thing. So, yeah. Anyhow, a fun day. Just, very positive vibes all around. Obviously, the loudest cheer, as he was, the third player announced in the starting lineup for the Minnesota Wild. And, yeah, a very warm welcome, and Quinn Hughes very excited. Quinn Hughes, some thoughts right here and right now.
How open-minded, Quinn, will you be just to seeing if you could see yourself here beyond your current contract?
I mean, extremely open-minded. They got an amazing core. Just, obviously we've only been here 4 hours. We're getting to know some of the guys and, how energetic and positive guys are. And then Minnesota being so close to Michigan, and just the state of hockey and the passion here. Just seeing how the fans reacted to me as well in warm-ups. And then obviously I got a lot of time for Billy for, quote unquote, sacking up and making the deal like he did, and just, how he valued me. And, there are other teams that probably could have thrown in, certain packages like that too, but at the end of the day, they didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to trade 2 or 3 assets from their team like Billy did. And so I'll remember that, and that means a lot to me that Billy did that.
Arriving here last night, what's your level of winter clothing?
0, honestly.
Doesn't get that cold in Vancouver.
No, it rains every day and might snow once a year, but I definitely have some shopping to do.
You played a lot of games.
Pretty cool. Sounds like a loyal person when it comes to, this Bill Guerin gave up that much for me. And there's another bite that wasn't in this press conference. It was like maybe one of the smaller little scrums where, I want to prove him right. I mean, he gave up all of that for me, and I want to prove him right. So that doesn't sound like somebody that's in a hurry to go to the New Jersey Devils, but you never know. It is ironic that he was in New Jersey, or just finished a game versus New Jersey with the Vancouver Canucks. So that's where his 2 brothers are. So we'll see. Luke and Jack. It would be pretty wild to have 3 brothers on the same team. It's definitely happened with brothers on the same team before, but 3? Man, that would be kind of weird. And one thing that's scary in that situation is sometimes, I don't know, they get to be too powerful, kind of like the Parisi Suter situation. You just don't want that. And I don't get the vibe with Quinn Hughes that he is a Parisi Suter type. Like, Parisi wasn't as bad as Suter, obviously people know it, but he had too much power too. And kind of going behind the coach with Adam Oates, to work on their power play. Slimy stuff. I think that was very slimy, the way those guys did that. And the way it was just kind of their way or the highway with a lot of stuff. And especially with Suter, obviously, who was like, anybody that would say anything to him was basically like, you better shut up, I'm going to call the owner. And that's BS. That is flipping BS. So don't think we're going to get that vibe with Kaprizov, Faber, Hughes, and Boldy. I just don't think we're going to get that type of vibe. More of a team atmosphere here, and I don't think Bill Guerin would put up with that for a bleeping second. At the same time, why do you think he got rid of those guys? Parisi mostly, it wasn't nearly as bad. It was Suter. Suter was the real villain in the 2. And yes, many fans have told us that Suter is the nicest guy in the world, when they met him in person. But yeah, because you're a fan, though. If you're his teammate, it might be a little different, kind of like you work in a service place, right? And, the customers just love this guy, love this girl, whatever. She's the nicest person ever. Yeah, but you work with them, and they're an absolute a-hole, a-hole, biatch, whatever word you want to use. That's a fact. And let's say I've been there before. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure a lot of you have as well. Everyone thinks this person's so great. And they're really not. So, work with them for a week and come back to me and tell me what a nice person they are. Yeah, they're a nice person on the other side of the counter, so to speak. So, similar, I think, with Suter, with the fans and everything. And, of course, you're going to be nice to the fans. Why the hell not? If you're not, then you're really an a-hole. And, yes, some players are real a-holes as fans, too. Particularly in the, it's happened. Anyhow, Pitlick would not have a multiple point streak, multi-game point streak. Wouldn't that be something? God bless Pitlick again. He's from here, so, and obviously his dad Lance, years with Ottawa way back in the day and such. So, all respect to them. Don't get me wrong. Just, I don't know. It is what it is, But a fun night, great vibes, and good feeling going forward with Quinn Hughes possibly staying here for many, many years. We'll see how much money it's going to take to get there, because it's going to take some money. It's double-digit millions, yes. Hockey's gotten into the double digits now as a more frequent thing than before. Basketball was there about 20 years ago. It's kind of wild. So, like the Terrell Brandons of the world getting, what was he making, $12 million a year, I think? And then back at the time, like $12 million for this guy? Jeez, he's kind of soft. Good player, but soft. Ugh, could drive you crazy. Oh, I like it. NHL Network, Canucks and Islanders. So if you want to check out the our friends there in Vancouver, Rossi, Liam Ogren, and Zeev William, there you go. NHL Network, if you happen to have it, versus the Isles. Yeah, that's nice. Washington game, Lindgren and net gave up 5 goals, 32 shots faced, 27 saves. Vladimir Tarasenko was spectacular. And you heard me say that. People have gone as far as to say Vladimir Tarasenko, or that's what people have said, Stinko, like he's terrible. Strange, the Audacity just blew up all over the place. So my laptop is not acting really good lately. I probably should have restarted it, but my apologies. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, Vladimir Tarasenko, he was downright spectacular in this game. Great release on his shot. Again, hope the Audacity doesn't blow up on me again. Thankfully, I didn't lose the whole damn show. In fact, I barely lost anything. I think I lost about 6 seconds, so very lucky there. Tarasenko would have 2 goals. Great release on his shot. Absolutely great. And then the pass was even more spectacular. That's all over NHL Network and ESPN and all that good stuff. Driving to the net and finishing on a breakaway and stuff. Well, he didn't have to on that one. He was on the breakaway. Made a last-second flip to Danil Yurov, who would score his first goal in a little while, but also have 2 assists. Danil Yurov and Tarasenko, the Russian connection in this one. 3 points apiece for Tarasenko and Danil Yurov. How cool is that? Kaprizov would also add a goal, of course. So all 3 of the Russians would score, except for Trenin, excuse me. There's your 4th Russian. He did not. But it's okay. It's okay. We can accept that. It's funny. Tarasenko, 16 minutes, where in other games he'd have like 18, 19, and nothing. This one, he was, he was Mike Modano award worthy in this game. He was absolutely amazing, to say the least. Hope this isn't going to blow up on me again. I'm scared. Quinn Hughes would get an assist his second game with the Minnesota Wild. 2 games and 2 points for Quinn Hughes. Didn't he get an assist in the, I believe he got an assist also in the Boston game, if I remember correctly. Again, I am scared to death of this thing breaking down on me like that old Grand Prix I once had. I couldn't even start the thing because the ignition was like exploding on me. Kind of scary. But I was pretty happy when I got rid of that car. I was kind of happy. Yes, that's 2 points. He did not record an assist versus the Boston Bruins. For some reason, I thought he did. But nope, it was just 1 point. So that just kind of confused me a little bit. My apologies. But a fun, butt-kicking night. Washington not playing as well as they had been. They had the best record in the league for a point. Now they actually have less points than the Wild, which is pretty crazy. The Wild are one of the best teams in the league now, and it's really awesome. Gustafsson would face 25 shots and stop them all. Tarasenko, you're off, looking amazing, and Hughes again adding an assist in this game and looking downright spectacular out there defensively, but also the puck movement. It's just a totally different vibe. Like, it just, add a guy like Hughes, and it seems like everybody just kind of gets better. And it feels so good to be a Minnesota Wild fan, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel amazing? So, the Mike Modano Award winner, so I don't flap my gums too long here, even though there's a lot of gums to be flapping when it comes to Quinn Hughes being on the Wild. It's so exciting. Mike Modano Award winner. It could be Hardman. It could be Tarasenko. It could be Gustafsson. What a great week he had. What a great week Gustafsson had. And, you can't discount the goaltending. That's one of the reasons the Wild have been so damn good. And then, of course, Boldy, Parisi, they've had their ups and downs. Like, they'll be hot one game, they'll be cold the next, or hot for 2 or 3 games and cold for 2 or 3 games. They'll have their little ups and down streaks, like 3-4 game streaks, where they're scoring and then the next time they're not. Consistency and such would be nice, but the great goaltending, that's been consistent for a while now. It's going in, back to the early November. Yeah, then you add Quinn Hughes, and it's just a totally crazy vibe. Now you're getting scoring from Tarasenko. Holy cow, that release, nice wrister, and then, of course, powerful release off the face-off, and the great spectacular pass, just last-second flip to Yurov. It's fun stuff. Absolutely fun. The Mike Modano Award winner for this episode is going to be a guy we've been picking on quite a bit. In fact, very recently, Vladimir Tarasenko is going to get his first Mike Modano Award Mike Modano Award for this show, which is crazy. Vladimir Tarasenko is bringing it home. Can you believe it? And honorable mention to Quinn Hughes, of course, just for simply, changing the vibe, or improving the vibe, like making the vibe even better. Like, it's been a good vibe, but now amplifying it. And of course, Philip Gustafsson obviously deserves at minimum an honorable mention, if not like a tie, for the Medal Award winner. And Wallstead was spectacular. You know, he was pretty damn good versus Ottawa, but Gustafsson getting the shutout versus Washington, who's got all kinds of talent there. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Just being, you know, a huge part of this team's success. You got, you know, Hughes and Faber and all them. Then you got Boldy, Kaprizov. You're seeing Yurov continue to improve as he's going to get a bigger and bigger role, especially with Rossi now permanently gone, unless we re-hire him many years from now. Boldy, Kaprizov, like I just said, Yurov, Tarasenko. I mean, it's, you know, you're seeing Joel Eriksson Ek have great games. He's looking like the Joel Eriksson Ek we've always loved, at least, you know, since he became like a legitimate top 6 type of guy. So, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. Now if guys can stay freaking healthy, we hope. Get healthy and stay healthy if humanly possible. Certain guys like Brodin and now Johansson are out. The James Shepard Memorial popcorn maker might be just generally injuries. Can't really pick on Tyler Pitt like he scored, and I don't want to pick on him because it's mean. Yeah, no, just no. I'm not going to hand out a James Shepard Memorial on this show. The vibe is just too good. The vibe is just too good right now. There'll be plenty of shows where we'll probably have a easy choice for that, unfortunately, because welcome to sports. It happens. Guys, quote unquote, drop the ball, so to speak. So with that, we'll take a quick break and come back and preview. Well, there's 4 games, and again, I'll try not to flap my gums too much, look at the prospects, and then, of course, get to a fun fan interaction segment. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 2. Before we jump into the previews and such, we're going to hear from DraftKings right here and right now. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN, of course, for the Hockey Podcast Network, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/audio.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. And here we go. Yep. Again, hope you enjoyed the Friday night special last week. That was a lot of fun. And it's going to continue to be a lot of fun, or so we hope. Upcoming games: Columbus, Edmonton. Edmonton, a matinee on Saturday afternoon. Yep, Columbus has a above 500 record, but, you know, they're kind of wallowing in mediocrity, unfortunately. Horrible thing happened a year and a half ago. Absolutely horrible thing happened. Johnny Hockey and his brother, yep, so his brother wasn't on Columbus, but Johnny Hockey was, and that was a massive loss for that organization. Edmonton doing what they kind of do, kind of flounder early in the year and try to pick things up, and who knows? We'll see if they finally win a Stanley Cup one of these years. They did make an acquisition the same day the Minnesota Wild acquired Quinn Hughes. They got Tristan Jarry from the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Stuart Skinner. So Stuart Skinner will no longer be the goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. He is headed to Pittsburgh. which is the subject of conversation of, the Wild. We might need another, forward of some sort, forward or center, a skater that scoring player. There's a guy up in years a bit, but still really good, who skates for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the last 20 plus years, who won the Stanley Cup with Bill Guerin, won a few Stanley Cups with Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury is now a local guy. Bill Guerin's the general manager / president of hockey operations of the Minnesota Wild. Sidney Crosby. So we'll see. We'll see if Sidney Crosby gets in the conversation, or if he'll just wind up being a lifelong Penguin. We'll see. Mario Lemieux never left the Penguins, and we'll see. Things have fallen apart. Pittsburgh looked awfully good at the beginning of the year, maybe a sugar high with the new coach. Sullivan's a pretty damn good coach, so it's not like it was Sullivan's fault necessarily, but sometimes you need a new voice. It's just the way it goes. So we'll see what happens with that. Otherwise, Colorado and Nashville coming up, and then 3 days off. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then eventually Winnipeg next Saturday. Finally be free from frickin' work. I can't wait. It sucks that we have to go all the way up to the 23rd. I mean, are you kidding me? Should have taken those 2 days off, Monday, Tuesday. Stupid. Not going to happen next year, let me tell you. Nudge, nudge. Anyhow, Columbus Blue Jackets. Dean Evason. We were awful. I mean, awful. I just think it's awful when I click on a button and it doesn't do anything. That's awful, too. Columbus Blue Jackets 14-13-6, Wild 29-5. Still third place because freaking Colorado and Dallas. It's kind of like years ago when the Wild had the number 2 record in the entire NHL, and the Blackhawks had the best record, and they were in the same division. So we didn't even win a division championship with the number 2 record in the league. Stupid. And we both lost in the first round. Nashville upset the Chicago Blackhawks in the first round with the 8th seed, went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins with Sidney Crosby, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Malkin and all them. It's just funny. Wild lost to was that the Blues that year? Yes, Mike Yeo, the infamous Mike Yeo series, 2018. Great season that finished in heartbreak, frustration, anger. Oh my God, that was bull crap. It really was bull crap. Yep. Oh, the Wild were so good that year. And I remember earlier that year, the Blue Jackets had the best record in the league. And the Wild and the Blue Jackets played on New Year's Eve, and the Blue Jackets made the Wild look kind of crappy. It's depressing. It really sucked. Oh yeah, another important player got hurt, or at least important enough in my opinion, but we'll look at the injury reports here. Minnesota Wild, Zach Bogosian. Yep, not expected to travel for Thursday's game, that'd be today, versus the Columbus, Ohio Blue Jackets, according to Dylan Looks, the Hockey News. Damon Hunt, injured reserve. Are you serious? Yep. Hunt did not finish Tuesday's game versus the Capitals, so let's start getting used to Kierstead out there. Yep. Or Carson Lambos, anyone? He's not, he's got a decent plus-minus for an awful Iowa team. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Damon Hunt did not finish the game versus the Capitals. There was no update on his status from head coach John Hines. So basically, he's on injured reserve, and that's it. That's all you're going to know, because that's how they roll. Marcus Johansson, not on injured reserve, but out. The Wild said that Johansson's out for Thursday's game versus the Blue Jackets, and that's all we're going to know. On the Columbus side, Matthew Oliver, injured reserve, as of December 2nd. Eric Gudbranson, rolls right off your tongue. Injured reserve going back to November 26th, and that he might not be close to returning. Actually, injured reserve as of the end of October, way back to about Halloweenish there. Luca Morelli, that one rolls off your tongue. Shoulder, injured reserve, December 18th. And, that doesn't sound good, no. Speaking of shoulders, of course, non-hockey related, Jonathan Grenard, Minnesota Vikings, shoulder injury out for the season. Dang it. So, yeah, if you happen to listen to Purple Mafia, go check that out if you feel like it. Minnesota Vikings podcast. The Wild back in October were not real good. It was not an indicator of what kind of season this was going to be. 7-4 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets. 7-4. What happened to the goaltending there? Holy crap. I mean, remember how crappy a season it was, or crappy a start it was to the season? And then everything just changed. And Gustafsson had a lousy start. So there was that. Lousy start to the year for him, for sure. And, It was like bad goaltending, bad team. And that's kind of what it was. Bad goaltending, bad team. Otherwise, the season series is wrapping up now. Minnesota Wild will split with the Blue Jackets. I do believe they've won at least 5 in a row, beating the Seahawks. Sea Kraken, that is what happened. 4-1 victory. Sea Kraken and all them. The Kraken. Seattle Kraken, sorry. The Columbus Blue Jackets had lost at least 4 in a row, and then recently beat the Anaheim Ducks, who got off to a great start this year, but not that great right now. 4-3 victory for Columbus recently to end the losing streak. 6 p.m. start in Columbus, Ohio. We'll see how that goes. Comparisons, Minnesota's 15th in goals. Columbus is 22nd. Power play, Minnesota's 9th. Wow, and it's going to get better and better with Quinn Hughes. It's going to be insane. Might be number 2 or 3 or something. Power play's 19th in Columbus. Goals against the Wild are 4th. Yep, we keep climbing that again because remember it was an awful start to the year. That's why it was like 9th, 10th, 9th, 8th. Now it's 4th. Columbus is 28th. Penalty kill. Minnesota Wild still 22nd, despite the good goaltending, so we'll see if that can continue to improve. It's better than 30th, which is what Columbus is. Remember, the Wild were 32nd forever. The Wild have the second least penalty minutes in the NHL. Columbus is, they're 20th in the league. So they're in the upper echelon, and this is the total penalty minutes now when I say 20th. Wild are 31st, so it's good. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. They flipped that around because it was probably confusing people. Anyhow, Columbus, if I can move forward, it'd be great. Jet Greaves, the main goaltender there in Columbus, 8-8 on the season. Well, he's one of the main goaltenders. Elvis has been in the building, and he's not been very good. It's been pretty rough. Giving up about 4 goals a game and 88 save percentage. It's been a bad one. But he's 6-5 somehow. Thank you very much for that. I don't know what's going on with Elvis there, but 4 goals a game is not too good. Oh, no. But Jet Greaves, 2.76, save percentage of .905, 8-8 on the season. Zach Werenski, the defenseman, with 36 points on the season. Strong season for him. Kirill, that's the other one who beat us last time around. The other Kirill, Marchenko, 26 points, 10 goals, 16 assists. And remember, he made us look a little crappy last time in October. Charlie Coyle has been skating with the Columbus Blue Jackets. 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points. That's okay in 33 games. So I do believe the Wild will beat the Blue Jackets with a final score, something along the likes of, I know I'm boring, like 4-2. I'm ready to go with a 4-1 victory. Maybe some empty netters mixed in there for Minnesota. Most likely got to score versus the Blue Jackets. We're going to get a little funky here with Jared Spurgeon is going to score against the Blue Jackets. What do you think of that? Edmonton Oilers, they're still 3rd place despite only being 4 games above 500. What the heck? That's a funky division. Yeah, and it always kind of has been. It seems like the Central is like frickin', murderer's row. And then Pacific, maybe the top team like a, Vegas or when Edmonton's at the top of their game or Los Angeles. Like the division leader is usually like the division champion team is usually pretty damn good. And then everyone else is like, eh. And right now, Edmonton's 4 games above 500, yet they're still 3rd place. They're not even like a wild card. Tristan Jarry, decent goaltender, I'd have to say. He's okay. I mean, 2.77 goals against average, 905. He's okay. He's just okay. Gustafson's got his goals against average down to 2.5, again, after the awful start. Well, 2.49, after the awful start. Again, he's been recovering ever since. Him being Philip Gustafsson. 3-game series against the Pacific Division. Recently, Wallstedt faced in a lot of shots on December the 2nd. That's when Wallstedt was like the talk of the league. Not to, now it's the Quinn Hughes trade, but the talk of the league and the Wilds themselves, basically. Talk of the league was Jesper Wallstedt. It's been a magical season thus far with the goaltending and then this exciting trade. Wallstedt's been a great story. He beat the Edmonton Oilers only 1-0, and that's when some of us, that have been around this team for many years, obviously Derek over there on the crease and assist, obviously really knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, experienced hockey, hockey podcast host, writer especially. Yes, it's like, this 1-0, 2-1 stuff it's going to bite us if we don't start, scoring a little bit. So the Quinn Hughes acquisition should help with that. 3-game series, like I said. This one is, Saturday afternoon, a matinee there. And then you have the end of January in Edmonton. This one will be, the Saturday one will be in the Grand Casino Arena, the GC, I guess. GCA. The last day of January, Edmonton, 9 p.m. A little more sunlight there. Not much. Edmonton they've been okay. Like, they've been winning like 3 out of 5 games lately, and they beat the Pittsburgh Penguins after the trade, 6-4. Congratulations to the Oilers. Some very familiar names there. Also some injury report conversation. Luckily for them, not huge names. Connor Clattenburg, injured reserve. And on December 11th, Jack Roslovic. That one's a fun one. November 27th. The Edmonton Oilers said that Roslovic had a few off-ice workouts earlier this week and got on for a low-pace skate. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you're skating, but not really hard at all. Before going on the road trip with the Oilers, he's hopeful he could get in the game before Christmas. Jake Wallman. Edmonton Oilers plays defenseman Jake Wallman on injured reserve as of December 11th. Oh, nope, before that. He's been hurt since Veterans Day. No, since Kennedy being shot day, November 22nd. And then officially placed on injured reserve on December 11th. So, interesting. Probably retroactive to that, though. November date. Okay, I'm going on and on. This is what I didn't want to do, and I'm sorry. Stuart Skinner's no longer with the Oilers, and Tristan Jarry's giving up 3.5 goals. Jarry's given up 3.5 goals so far this year. Kelvin Pickard, no relation to Jean-Luc. Obviously, it's spelled differently, and Jean-Luc is a fictional character. Over 4 goals a game and 85% save percentage. Just, I don't know. And obviously the talk was before Edmonton could have had Jesper Wallstedt. The Wild traded up to that spot and took Jesper Wallstedt. So once in a while, things go our way rather than that Braden Point, Louis Belpedio trade, which we're all haunted of forever, watching Tampa Bay become a miniature dynasty at the beginning of this decade. But maybe, the end of this decade, Minnesota will win a Stanley Cup. Let's hope so. Because, yeah, hopefully the Wild capitalize on one of those type of trades, and so far it looks good. Connor McDavid, the best player in the NHL.
Whether you're gifting, decorating, or treating yourself, Lowe's December deal drops are here to help you save more all month long. Get up to 75% off select holiday decor. Plus, get up to 45% off select tools and accessories. Shop new December deal drops every week this month and get so much more out of your holidays. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Is it just me, or has watching TV gotten way too complicated? There are a million different services and too many bills to keep track of. Thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love. MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it. Plus, everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with Ads Plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. There are no contracts, no surprise fees, just one low price. And their DVR is awesome, too. I can save everything I love for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. A total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv. And if you subscribe today, you can get $8 off your first month. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one, deciding what to binge next.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW, let us surprise you.
Drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI, because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that'll change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Or most people would say, 34 games, 56 points, 20 goals. He's back to goal scoring again. As before, it was more Draisaitl would be the lead goal scorer. They both have over 30 assists. So obviously the talent has always been there, always. And Connor McDavid, taking at least $5 or $6 million less a year to help with the cap situation, doing a little Tim Duncan there to help the Oilers possibly, finally get over the hump. So far, not so good. 56 points, though, and trade season still is out there, though. Don't be surprised if Edmonton makes a splash at some point coming up. Draisaitl, 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points on the season. And again, knocking on wood, they've been healthy this year. Evan Bouchard with 32 points, 26 assists to go with that. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, another former number one pick, is a point-a-game guy because he's missed 9 games, 25 points in 25 games. Ekholm was a nice addition a few years back. Like him a lot. 17 points already, 34 games. Big fan. Darnell Nurse, I think, a bit overpaid for what he is. He's decent. 12 points in 34 games, but $9 million, especially at the time of the contract. I was like, how much again? What are we doing? It's kind of weird. Did I look at the comparisons? I don't think I did. I apologize. Edmonton's third in goals, Wild 50. Yeah, third in goals. I'll just go with Edmonton now. Power play number 1, so they score. Goals against, though, 31st. See? Penalty kill 21st. And they're good about staying out of the box, 23rd in the league. So, very offensive-minded and crappy goaltending. That's pretty much all I need to know. Minnesota, I can't just pick us to win every single game, but sheesh. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to believe the Wild can beat the Edmonton Oilers, even though this does reek of like a funny afternoon game, as the Wild have had a lot of those over the years. What do we got? Colorado, yikes, and Nashville. The Nashville reeks of a trap game. Oh, that reeks of a trap game. Oh, they beat Colorado, like a week ago after the Wild did too. I'll say the Wild beat Edmonton in stepping out in faith. It's crazy that the Wild only managed 1 lousy goal against that team too. That tells you how crappy the Wild offense was playing at the time. Just a few weeks back when Wellstead had to literally get a shutout to win the game by 1 lousy goal. That's insane. That's how bad the offense was at the time. Definitely slumping. Can't be doing that now. Seriously. There's no reason for it. Wild will win the game 3-1. 3-1. No. I think it's just the fact that the Wild shut out that team. Wellstead is insanely impressive. That's the real story there. Along with, again, the Wild offense being crappy. I mean, 1 goal versus that team, you're going to lose probably 90% of the time. That's how good Wallstedt was. There I go all over the place again. 3-2, Wild win. Escape. Shootout or overtime goal, Wild escape. If there's an overtime winning goal, it's Kirill Kaprizov versus the Oilers. Colorado Avalanche, 2 regulation losses all season, 7 overtime losses, overtime/shootout losses. Blackwood's been spectacular, save percentage of 92, goals against average of 2.26. Logan O'Connor has been out since June. That's insane. So they say he's still a week or 2 from returning to the lineup, but he's been out for about half a year. Jacob MacDonald out since hip injury since December 18th. This is, of course, the Colorado Avalanche. A little better. Avalanche are a little better, I'd have to say. Comparisons. Number one in the league in goals. Number 1 in assists. Got to bring that up for the heck of it. Power play is only 26th. Go figure. Goals against, they're number 1 in the league. Holy shit. Penalty kill, number 1 in the league. And they're spectacular about staying out of the box, 30th. Somehow the Wild beat them in one of their overtime losses. That appears to be their weakness, because you can't beat them in regulation. But technically, they have lost 9 games. Like if it was the postseason, that you're out. You lost. So, whatever. This is the second of 4 games in this series. This is in the Grand Casino Arena. The next 2 will be in Colorado. February 26th in Colorado. And March 8th, my brother's birthday on TNT. Cool, TNT. Nice. Colorado has been pretty darn good. They did lose to Nashville most recently. I believe that was also an overtime game. I believe. Or was that regulation? But pretty sure it was overtime. I think that was regulation. I think it was. Nope, it was in the shootout. So it was in one of those. It was the 7th one. Can't remember where they got that second loss. So it must have been a little bit further back. They've won 3 in a row pretty commandingly since then, beating Florida 6-2, Nashville. So they got the rematch 4-2, and Seattle 5-3 respectively. Colorado's got all kinds of talent. We all know it. Oozing talent. They're scary. They're deadly. They're this. They're that. I better hurry up. McKinnon, 58 points. He's the leading scorer in the league. 28 goals, 30 assists. Nick has been amazing. 45 points for him. Probably mispronouncing it. 14 goals, 31 assists. Kill McCarr. There's your Ray Bork, Bobby Orr, whatever. Number 1 defenseman in the league. Only guy ahead of Quinn Hughes. 10 goals, 30 assists. The good news is they're both American. So, for Olympic purposes, that's where it's good news. They're both American. So, Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes on the same team? Well, hopefully not in the NHL, but in Olympic-wise. And Brent Burns is like the old legend there. He's got 18 points in 33 games. Pretty good for a 40-year-old. Man, every time I think he's 40 years old, and I remember him as an 18-year-old young buck. Nicest kid in the world. Just wonderful. Or I met him at one of those, Taste of the Wild or whatever, way back in the day when he was a rookie. Just the nicest kid on the planet. I keep seeing that young face, and it's just like this 40-year-old grizzled veteran who looks a lot more like Joe Thornton. Jumbo Joe. He looks a lot more like him with the beard and everything. But I don't know. Realistically, I mean, Colorado should win the game, but there's a real chance the Wild could win this one as well. These two, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling the Wild are going to drop either this one or Nashville. You know, because Nashville, they have been a pain in the side for the Wild, just like Calgary. They've been a pain in the ass forever. Colorado, obviously, is, so far until the Wild prove otherwise, are the best team in the league. The Wild or the Dallas Stars, anyway, the best team in the league. So, just to be fair and honest, I'll be fair and honest, but either way, I think the Wild drop one of these two, unfortunately, be it in overtime or whatever. Maybe this one goes to a shootout or something, or like overtime, and maybe like a, McKinnon or something puts it away. Otherwise, yeah, I'm thinking 4-3 loss, overtime type of thing. The Avalanche win it, unfortunately. The most likely guy to score for Minnesota is Boldy. So let's move quickly here. I've been screwing around too long. Nashville Predators, as of now, obviously, again, I feel bad for Andrew Brunette. I really do. I'm a huge fan of his for many years. I liked him here with the Minnesota as an assistant coach, but maybe he wasn't so great, I guess, after all. A lot of people were frustrated with the power play when he was running it. 13-16-4 on the season. Are the Predators below 500 despite all that old veteran talent? The Wild did beat Nashville right when things started to get better. We had to go to OT to do it on November 4th. This is Tuesday coming up here. The next game will be February 4th in Nashville and April 11th in Nashville. Nashville, again, they did beat Colorado recently, and they beat St. Louis recently, and then got pounded by Carolina. Nashville's 25th in goals, 23rd in the power play, 29th in goals against. I mean, they're not good, but they're a weird trap team. 14th on the penalty kill, they still have that, and penalty minutes, they're right in the middle. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Injury report. Don't go too fast. Jonathan Marchessault is day-to-day. Lower body injury December 17th versus the Hurricanes. Ozzy Weisblatt. Gotta like that one. Injured reserve December 5th. Expected to miss 8 to 10 weeks. Sounds like a broken bone, in my humble opinion, but who knows. But Justin Barron. Nashville Predators placed Justin Barron, not Jason if I said that, on injured reserve December 5th, considered week to week. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe it's who knows. Probably lower body. That's just my guess, but who knows? It could be shoulder. It could be anything. Hockey is very, very, secretive with injuries, and understandably so, because guys are constantly, whacking people here and shoving people there, so with their sticks, well, after the whistle, be it it's penalized or not. Jussi Saros, one of the best goalies in the league, but of course he doesn't have a lot of, I don't know, they're just not playing well in front of him. Almost 3 goals a game and save percentage just under 90. Ugh. Justus Annunen, 1-5 on the year and a save percentage of 86, 3.73. Wild need to get this done. Eric Halla, former Wild player, watch, 17 points for him. Steven Stamkos, these are in 32 games, by the way. A lot of guys are staying healthy, which is interesting. Josi, though, has missed 12 games so far, 14 points in 20 games. Brady Shea, former Minnesota Gopher. Brady Shea, 32 games, 10 points, 1 goal, 9 assists. He's had his moments, I suppose. Nick Hague, that's a familiar name. 7 points in 24 games. Yeah, well, Ryan O'Reilly's leading them in scoring. He was the leader of that awesome St. Louis team coming from Buffalo. 26 points when they won the Cup in 2019 anyway. Feels like 1,000 years ago when it comes to that. And it kind of is. It kind of is. 26 points in 32 games. Philip Forsberg, obviously, has been a thorn in the side for the Wild forever. 32 games, 25 points, 14 goals to lead the way. Stamkos, the former champion in Tampa, certainly not bringing the champion mentality to Nashville. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault. It's just not working out. Some of these guys are older, and it's just not a good mix. Maybe the coaching staff isn't up to standards here. I don't know. Marshall Schultz only 10 points in 27 games, and he's day-to-day. Wild absolutely need to beat this team, and I think they do. Wild might get 7 out of 8 points this week. This reeks of a trap game, and I hope Wild don't blow this one. Otherwise, Wild should get it done. Something along the likes of 4-1. I mean, Wild should beat these guys pretty soundly, 5-2, something like that. 5-2. Wild will win. Kaprizov has a multi-goal game. Kaprizov has a multi-goal game versus Nashville. So now let's jump into prospects. But I get the infamous spinning wheel crap, so bear with me. I am staring at a spinning wheel. Wow, that's always wonderful. I should also mention that Kirill Kaprizov became number 2 in team history in goals scored, 206 now, passing Koivu, or 207, passing Koivu, and still a bit back behind Gabrick. The whole thing just blew up on me, so I don't want to be on that page anymore. That's the wrong website. It just seemed to blow up the whole damn computer. So, yeah, that's probably what's been causing the problems here. So, my apologies. Let's get to the prospects before my head explodes. I can't deal with it. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Again, Liam Ogren did score for the Canucks, as we want to watch the former players. Why did I click on the Canucks? The Iowa Wild here with Liam Ogren and such. Jerry Mayhew still the leading goal scorer for Iowa with only 14 points in 23 games. It's kind of funny, only 8 goals. Riley Heidt now at 9 points in 26 games, but he's a minus 12. David Spacek's a minus 5, which isn't that bad for a defenseman on a team that's not playing well. 11 assists. He's the leading scoring defenseman. I guess tied with Ben Gleason, who's 5 years older, more of a minor leaguer. Jack Pert now at 8. He's actually had a miniature offensive surge, so that's exciting. And his plus-minus has improved to minus 9. I know, it's like small little victories. You got to celebrate them. Hunter Haight also had a multi-goal game recently. 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 points in 17 games, and he's a minus 13. Yeah, well, he had a multi-goal game, though. Holy. Cal Peterson, 2.94. It's kind of like Jussi Saros there in Nashville. It's like, yeah, he's doing well, but, I mean, he's doing as good as he can. It's 3-12. That's how bad the team is right now. I mean, my gosh. I mean, what's his name? I don't even know. Whoever. The greatest coaches of all time. Jacques Lemaire, one of them could go coach Iowa and be like, yeah, it's still toxic. I don't understand. Because I think Cronin's a good, at minimum, he's a good AHL coach. He's been an NHL coach. He got Anaheim to 500 after being putrid for years. So I don't think he's bad. I don't. Caden Bankier is a minus 2. That's not bad, but only 6 points on the season, and he's a center. Minus 2, that's good. I mean, he's focusing on one side of the game, I suppose. Yeah, either that or he's just super lucky. But, yeah, I don't know. It's been... I wish I could go into the Iowa conversation and just feel good. Like, this is fun. Look how good this guy's doing. Look how good this guy's doing. Carson Lambos has been called up to the Wild, understandably, probably more of a reserve type of situation. He's a -3, and he's got 5 points, but maybe he will play because of the Hunt injury. We'll see if Carson Lambos can play in a game. So he is with Minnesota at the moment. Only 5 points, but a -3. He was a +5 last year, which is really cool, considering the circumstances. Yep, so I'm glad that I killed that website. Everything's acting way better now. Sometimes there's a certain website with all kinds of, like 5,000 ads coming up. That's like making your computer go insane. That's pretty much what was happening. And can't have that happen, damn it. No, really can't. It's depressing. Why am I going to Huznantinov? What the hell? 9 points on the year. That's a career high already. 29 games for Boston, -2. So I'm always curious about how certain guys are doing, including like Ogren and such. It's nice that he's got a goal already. You feel good for him at the end of the day, even though you're frustrated that, he's gone or he didn't do so much here. Spots like we already talked about. Ryan Healy for Harvard, 7 points in 11 games, pretty good, and he's a +4 for Harvard. He continues to improve every year. Last year his scoring went down, but his plus-minus was way better, focusing more defensively for Harvard. This is a senior year for him there. He'll either be working with Ben Matlock, I'm just kidding, because supposedly, in the original Matlock, that's where Matlock went to, was Harvard. Yes. Regular Lorenz, another senior for the Denver Pioneers, 19 points, huge step forward. He's a +12 on the year and almost a point a game. 19 games, 15 points, 6 goals, 9 assists for the Denver Pioneers. He's moving forward. He's heading west. No, he'll be heading east if he comes here at the end of the day. That was a real smart talk, right? Jimmy Clark, if I can somehow get that to load. It's been a rough one today, man. 12 points in 19 games. It's okay. Just okay numbers. Kind of, and the Gophers have been frustrating this year, up and down. Kalen Parker, skating for the Michigan Tech Huskies now, after being in the WHL forever. Right shot defenseman, 6 points in 18 games, .33 points per game, basically there. Pionk, again, just 1 assist in 20 games for Minnesota to lose. It is strange, because he was a high scorer, and all of a sudden he's not. I'm confused with that one. Kumpalainen with Iowa, 2 points in 25 games. Whew. Yikes. Iowa is just depressing. Michigan State University, Charlie Stramel, still over a point a game there. 16 games, 18 points, 6 goals, 12 assists, and he's a +16 for Michigan State. Charlie Stramel, who recently celebrated his 21st birthday. No comment. Stevie Lescovar, 1 goal for the Iowa Heartlanders in 15 games. That's all she wrote. Chase Wuski, not Chad, my apologies. Again, he's winning games there. Well, he was winning games there for the Moose Jaw Warriors, but 3.57 goals against average. Save percentage of 90. That's the one that kind of throws you off. It tells you he's facing like a million shots, and, they're bound to go in eventually because he's facing a million shots. Aaron Kiviharu, 7 points in 23 games. Again, doesn't jump out at you much. We'll see how he does in the World Juniors. Ryder Ritchie, Boston University, not bad. 11 points in 18 games. Not great either, though, but he is 19, so still more than enough room to grow there. Like I said earlier, Zeev Buium, 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist for the Vancouver Canucks. That was in his debut with them. Kipke, who is again with Arizona State Sun Devils. Is he a defenseman? Yes, that's what he was. He had 62 points for the Victoria Royals last year in the WHL, now at Arizona State. 6 points in 16 games, and he's a -6, so doesn't jump out at you all too much. Moving up to a little bit stronger level in college versus WHL. Carter Klippenstein at 19 years of age, point-a-game player almost a point a game. I apologize. 26 points in 29 games, but he's a +9 for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Lirim Amedovsky, right shot, right winger, 19 points in 30 games in the OHL. +5 at least. So, all right. Adam Bennick, a guy who does score when he's healthy, but apparently not at the moment. 26 points, 43 games. We'll see how he does in the World Juniors. And again, as we head into the Christmas/holiday season, a lot of these leagues tend to shut down a bit, unfortunately, college and junior. And I think we're headed into that because it's the 18th of December. Theodore Hulkvist, Hellquist anyway. 2 points at the, what is it? This is like the major pro? Or no, minor pro. 2 points in the minor pro in 17. At the junior level, 11 games, 5 points. And at the major pro, this is all in Sweden, 6 games, 1 point. So kind of like splitting all those in the same thing. Got major pro, 1 assist. Minor pro, 2 assists in 17 games. And 5 assists and 11 for the junior level. So he's been kind of moving up and down between those levels in Sweden. So there's your conversation there. Okay, let's take a quick break and return to fan interaction. We got to get moving. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 3, fan interaction. Luckily, everything loaded back up, despite the explosion earlier. Not literally explosion, but it felt like one. Oh, yes, it kind of did. Yep. So, again, Derek was making fun of the whole, like, the Wild could actually score on a bleeping, the biggest surprise, actually score on a breakaway. So, the leader here for this, that's interesting. Looks like there's a lot of responses after something. So we'll come to the poll in a little bit. Nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect. Rock and Rust was saying, how do I feel about the trade? I was saying expensive, but very exciting. Interesting to see what will happen for the legitimate players. Okay, and then Derek did a miniature lightning round. Wait a minute. These are new. Yeah, these are new, so I'm going to use it. So let's get to the Derek Krelska lightning round right now. Ooh, good thing I checked that. Yep, these are new. So, which is in order? Doesn't matter, actually. It's all the same day. So it's like right as the release. First, though, we'll go to Brandon Bugren. Explain this trade in NBA terms. Was he saying that to someone else, though? I'll come back to him. Sorry. Derek, right now. Yeah, I thought he was replying to Derek. Come on, Joey, wake up. With the Quinn Hughes trade giving up ostensibly 4 first-round picks, how much will we miss the draft capital we gave up in David Juracek the year before? Ooh. Yeah, that's bad. Yep, that's the thing. See, it's like, you make this big move last year, and he's done literally nothing. Like, he's done nothing. He isn't even doing anything in the AHL. It hurts, yeah. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. And then, I keep forgetting the guy's name. I don't even want to remember the guy we traded for with Nashville. It's like, yeah, we know who he was, but he was super disappointing, to say the least, for the Wild. I don't even want to get to his name. I'm going to backtrack and look, though. It's like, I'm going to slap myself when I see it. It's like, oh, duh. Yeah, Gustav Nyquist. Yep, that was the most. Yeah, I mean, we give up a second-round pick for him, and then the Juracek trade. Holy crap. I mean, what are we doing here? Are we getting the next, Quinn Hughes? Are we getting Quinn Hughes at, like, age 19? Well, so far, no. We're getting a guy with maybe Dumba Light at best, and he's not Dumba Light. He's more like, I don't know, he's like the current Dumba who was released by the Dallas Stars. We're getting that Dumba, just a younger version of that Dumba. So, yes, it was, like I was saying earlier, that's a trade that could get a guy fired. So, hopefully this Quinn Hughes trade turns things completely in the right direction, but still, the draft capital. I mean, we're turning into Vegas in terms of, Vegas, it seems almost like they could sign almost anybody they want in terms of, like, it's such an attractive location due to the fact they win, due to the fact it's Las Vegas, nice and warm, without humidity and da-da-da. So, yeah, I mean, heck, if I was a professional NHL, if I was an NHL talent and they had the space and wanted me, I'd probably, they'd be really high on my list. So, yeah, there's that. So it's like that. Yeah, it's like we're kind of like Vegas right now in terms of like draft picks. What's a draft pick? We just acquire people, trades and signing. And I guess we're kind of heading that direction right now with the way it's set up. Draft picks are wonderful, and I love them. And you look at our prospect situation right now. Who's our top prospect? Like I was asking around the special.
Whether you're gifting, decorating, or treating yourself, Lowe's December deal drops are here to help you save more all month long. Get up to 75% off select holiday decor. Plus, get up to 45% off select tools and accessories. Shop new December deal drops every week this month and get so much more out of your holidays. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Is it just me, or has watching TV gotten way too complicated? There are a million different services and too many bills to keep track of. Thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love. MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it. Plus, everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with Ads Plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. There are no contracts, no surprise fees, just one low price. And their DVR is awesome, too. I can save everything I love for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. A total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv. And if you subscribe today, you can get $8 off your first month. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one. Deciding what to binge next.
Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
This is Michael Rosenbaum. Hey, folks, let me tell you that drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Is it Carson Lambos? I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, it's Wallstead, who's already on the team. So, well, he'd be a hell of a prospect. He still is, I guess, but barely. Barely. Continuing with the lightning round, as Minnesota Wild near the holidays, if you could gift them anything, even after their own big surprise, what would it be? If I could gift them anything, well, I think a lot of people would hope for a Sidney Crosby. If I could gift them anything, like give them something, even after their own big surprise. I mean, obviously, we'd all say like a McDavid. Yeah, if you want to just say, what the hell, anybody, McDavid, you know, but like semi-realistic, we'll say, yeah, like a Sidney Crosby, I think would be an extremely exciting thing for the franchise. And I think they would love that. I think they would love that if that's what you're leaning towards, like what type of player. So I'm guessing like a Sidney Crosby is kind of like a way to go. Otherwise, yeah, Tage Thompson, you know, like a much younger, you know, he's still kind of up and coming. Still, he's established, but he's closer to being up and coming versus Crosby, who's a lot closer to retirement. So we'll go with Tage Thompson instead, I guess. But Crosby would be very exciting for, I'm sure, that franchise because there's a lot of Pittsburgh in the Minnesota Wild. What, Derek continues, what is your favorite kind of Christmas cookie? What kind of Christmas cookie is most likely the Minnesota Wild? My favorite Christmas cookie is gingerbread, man, especially with those little cinnamon pearls or whatever they call those things. Yeah, they have to have those cinnamon pearls, though, those like little red things. Way back in the day when Macy's was Macy's always has been Macy's, but when it was Dayton's downtown Minneapolis, and what was it, the 8th floor during the Christmas season? Oh my God, that place was a gold mine. I mean, the decorations, the trees, the lights, I mean, I almost get tears in my eyes thinking about it because there was a charm to that place that could never be matched, and it's never coming back, and that's what hurts. No matter how beautiful you go to a store and there's all these decorations and stuff, it'll never be the same as it was back then. But then there was that one last item called the gingerbread man. Now, you can get a gingerbread man anywhere, like Lunds and Byerly's and such. They're kind of crispy, because, they're kind of crispy because they've been, they were made a while back, and they're, bagged up and da-da-da. And then you buy the little cinnamon pearls, and you get kind of close because they're actually made really nice at Lunds and Byerly's. Free plug, I guess, especially if you get those cinnamon pearl things and put them on there. Eat them as you go, and you get a little bit of that old vibe. But fresh cinnamon or fresh gingerbread cookies with those, oh man, I'm almost getting tears in my eyes because I miss it so much. Just the whole vibe there with those cinnamon pearls put in there like little buttons like on a snowman. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was the best thing ever, and they were very expensive for the time, like late 80s, early 90s, late 80s especially, but early 90s too. They were very expensive for the time, so my mom would only get like a few, but my God, it was the biggest pleasure ever. Like, if I could have my way, I would buy a whole box full of them, like dozens, if I could. Yes, long story longer. My apologies. What Christmas cookie is the wild right now? I'd call them the gingerbread men. How great they were. Before that, it would be something meh, like a snickerdoodle. Some people, I guess those are technically a Christmas cookie. Otherwise, maybe the classic sugar cookies. My mom used to make wonderful Christmas tree cookies. They had this almondy kind of vanilla almond taste that were just delicious. And you'd add the little sprinkles on as well. Oh man, like sprinkles instead of sugar. Or some would have sugar, some would have sprinkles, but they were delicious with the Charlie Linus accent, Linus Van Pelt. Continuing. Sorry, I was long. But hey, it got me going, and that's part of the show. Not including the Quinn Hughes trade, what would you say are the top 3 trades in Wild history? Uh-oh. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the Volstead, right now, it looks like the Volstead trade with Edmonton, trading up to get Volstead, looks like way up there. I know that you might think, that's kind of low-hanging fruit. Well, yeah, it's a good trade. There have been a few. Obviously, for a while, it looked like the Faber and Ogren for Fiala looked like a pretty good one. That one looks more like it's kind of evened out, I guess. And, of course, Ogren's no longer with us now, but it helped. He was a part of the package to get Quinn Hughes. Best trades in Wild history. Yeah, there's been a few. There have been a lot of really bad ones. There have been a few pretty good ones. Why am I blanking? I don't want to pull up the wrong website either to kind of get like some references. But, there was that NHL one. Yeah. Oh, I love that one. NHL Trade Tracker or something. That one was, that's an awesome page where you can get everything, like going way back into the North Stars, like way back. Like, you can look at all those old ones. But I don't know if it's on here. I don't know if I can find it. Because it's just NHL. There it is. History of NHL Trades. NHL Trade Tracker. Yes, it's so cool because you can look at some of those trades going way the heck back. Brazo's definitely not on the list. Nyquist, no. Juracek, we traded away Hunt. Thankfully, we got him back. And all those picks that went with that. Nothing too exciting the last several years until the Quinn Hughes one. It's not even showing the Quinn Hughes one. That's funny. It's not even on here yet, but that's okay. We know about the trade. There hasn't been much for a while. Yuck. Zach Bogosian for a 7th-round pick. It's okay. That's a decent one. Klingberg. Johansson for a 3rd-round pick. It was okay at the time. Nyquist for a 5th-round pick. Actually, that was a pretty good trade. The first one in 2023, because Nyquist was insanely good that year for a 5th-round pick. Think about it. You trade a 5th-round pick, and yes, it's because he had injured shoulders, all right. He had an injured shoulder. So, I don't know. Never mind. It took a while. Fleury was exciting, a conditional 2nd-round pick. I mean, that's, I guess, on the list. Nick Bonino and Luke Cunningham, that does nothing for me. Meh, at best. Eric Stahl for Marcus Johansson. That was the first time the Wild got Johansson. That's funny. Jason Zucker, Kalen, that ended up not being a really good trade. Granlund for Fiala. Okay, there you go. Granlund for Kevin Fiala. It took a little while. There it is, and it took a while to find this. 2019, geez. Yep, Kevin Fiala. Yep, because I remember he started emerging during that COVID year. That's on the list. That's one of the two. Obviously, Quinn Hughes, I can't include that one. We are going to say the Jesper Wallstedt trade up. That does count. But yes, Fiala for Granlund, yes, that's a pretty damn good trade. Yes, and I did have to dig, and I apologize if that seems... yeah, the Tuck trade, that was frustrating. God, you have to go way back, man. Look how far back we're going. Hensel and White, that's one of the absolute worst trades in Wild history. Frickin' awful. Jordan Leopold for Justin Falk on a 5th rounder. It was fun for a minute, but he wasn't very good anymore. He just wasn't. Dubnyk, there it is. There it is. That's number 3. Dubnyk for a 3rd round pick for the Arizona Coyotes. They made the Wild way better for a while. We won a couple playoff series, which is something that's very foreign around here. So there's number 3. Dubnyk for a 3rd round pick. Wallstedt, and it could be in any order. Wallstedt trading up with the Edmonton Oilers to get Wallstedt in the draft, and of course the Fiala for Granlund trade. So there's your 3 picks. Sorry, I had to dig around. Pominville was exciting at the time, but yeah, well, actually that was a pretty good trade too. So that's an honorable mention. If you want to say like active players versus draft picks, we'll say that one. Pominville was pretty good at the time, though. Of course, not long after that, Pominville started to show his age. It didn't take long at all, which was frustrating. Yep, so I better keep moving. I'm dragging this out. But I had to dig. NHLTradeTracker.com. It might be the best page ever if you're looking at history, because it's fun. And you can look at the North Stars, and gosh, this goes way back to 1918, 1919. These are guys that have been, dead for like 80 years maybe in some cases. That's crazy, man. Could have been in World War I. That's crazy. The Great War is what they would have called it. That's how far back we're going. The Great War. Yeah. Holy mother of Moses. Yep, got me going again. Derek is awesome. Yes, he is. And the show is awesome, too. Okay, thank you, Derek. He says, great show. That would be the one, the emergency episode. He said, great show. I don't mind that you used the questions. Yep, the questions for this emergency episode. I will send you some more questions soon. And yes, thank you. And yep, yeah, and you did. Yep, so that was probably the questions just right there. So thank you, Derek. You are awesome. Gold star, Derek. Gold star. Yep, he is awesome. And we're going to get more on the poll coming up. Brandon D. Bugren, huh? Who was he responding to? Oh, he was responding to me, but why does it say Grok? Explain this train in NBA terms, huh? It's because I'm secretly an NBA fan, right? No. Yes, I do. Timberwolves Explosion. Yes, I do. But you can probably tell I enjoy this show a hell of a lot. And I am more of a hockey fan than a basketball fan, honestly. But as much as I enjoy doing Timberwolves Explosion, just, obviously for many years I've been North Stars and such. NBA terms, yeah, that's an interesting comparison. I was even thinking that. Trying to think of who would compare an NBA to Quinn Hughes. Well, it'd be a lot of picks, like, say, trading away, like, one of the players might be, like, depending on how you look at Rob Dillingham with the Wild. He might be the Liam Mogren, even though at one point you might have thought he was the Steve Buyam. This might be like Julius Randle, Dillingham, and hopefully not Jaden McDaniels. God, that would suck. I don't want to trade him from the Wolves. That would suck. And then getting because the North, if you're the Timberwolves right now, which we're the Timberwolves too, we need a point guard, like a high-end point guard on the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. And I don't know. I mean, I like Garland a lot. Yeah, and it's not showing blank. Here we go. Okay. Curry's obviously older, and I hate the guy. He's annoying. Doncic. See, these guys to me aren't even point guards. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka Doncic. Like, they're point guards, but they're not. They're playmakers. Yeah, Brunson, Knicks. Yeah, that's probably about like a Jalen Brunson level, I'd say. A lot of these guys are shooting guards, though, so it's kind of annoying. I'll say it's the equivalent of the Timberwolves acquiring a Jalen Brunson, like way up there. You can't say John Morant because he's nuts, but Darius Garland is somebody I would love the Wolves to get. They could probably get him for, say, cheaper than the Wild got Quinn Hughes. Darius Garland. If I'm the Wolves, that's who I'm after. Cleveland Cavaliers. Look him up if you're curious. Jamal Murray, he's kind of a point guard. A lot of these guys are like shooting guards. The NBA has gotten kind of weird. Yeah, it's gotten weird. Like a lot of the shooting guards are like playmakers nowadays. But Jalen, I'd equate it to Jalen Brunson. If the Wolves got Jalen Brunson, it'd be a massive story. Obviously, you'd be giving up Dillingham along the way and some other, like maybe even Julius Randle going back to the Knicks, which would be really weird. But I don't know. Then you'd get smaller and it'd be, you wouldn't really have much there. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. It'd be like a Jalen Brunson acquisition, like that high up. It'd be a huge shocker. It would shock the Timberwolves, shock the NBA, and it'd be a number one story for at least a week or two. And are the Wolves going to win a title? That kind of conversation. So that's about what kind of trade we're talking in NBA terms. So that got me going too, because I've been kind of thinking myself, what would it be like if it was an NBA trade? Poll, let's go. Go. I'm running out of time. I'm really running out of time, which I don't like very much. And yes, thank you so much for saying it's a great show, and I really appreciate that. And, Grease Assist is an awesome show. It really is. So, the polls. At the moment, officially there's 2 days left. Your overall thoughts on the Quinn Hughes blockbuster, feel free to comment. The 4 choices are we're on our way, like we're right there. Number 2, big, but more to be done. 3, it's okay, watch him leave, like he's just going to leave us. And 4, way too much, Bill Guerin blew it. So number 1 right now is big, but more to be done. So that means probably like more of a forward type of guy to join Kaprizov, Boldy, Ack, and all them. Number 2, big, but more to be done. It's a landslide right now, 60%. We're on our way. It's coming in at 20%. Number 2, it's okay, watch him leave though. Yep, 16.7%, and way too much, Bill Guerin blew it. It's 3.3. So it looks like there's 6 comments, and we're going to get to them immediately. Jay Bushy says, it's a bold move by Bill Guerin. He's under contract for a year and a half. To me, re-signing him probably makes or breaks the trade. Absolutely. Losing Mr. Hughes would be terrible. Yeah. There is a possibility the Wild could trade him, but we'll get off of that. There'll be plenty of time to talk about that one, and we'll see how it goes. Tom Hayen says, the Hosers had to move the kid. That would be Steve William, because all 3 brothers. Oh no, that would be the Canucks. I'm screwing up. Sorry, Tom. The Hosers had to move the kid because all 3 brothers had publicly stated they want to play together, which that scares me a lot. With Luke and Jack signed through the Rapture, the organization needs to hope that all public sentiment was a smokescreen just to get out of the Pacific Northwest, and I hope so too. Yep, because the other guys are already signed to the Rapture, apparently, Luke and Jack in New Jersey. Steve Miller. Yep, Steve Miller, who also has been doing a great job. I'm pretty sure that's him, right? He's the one that's been doing, Brian Steve. He's the one that's been on Crease Assist. Been doing great. Bottom 6 from hell. Spurgeon isn't the shutdown D he once was. I agree. Can Hunt replace him? So many questions remain. So yes, there is more to be done. Yes. And then Johan, I actually saw rumors of this trade this Wednesday, and I was like, this probably could get it done, and I think I would be okay with it. Then it actually happened. Wow, let's go. We do need an upgrade at the center position and some secondary scoring. Absolutely. Yep, we do need help with secondary scoring. Like, it's there sometimes and not all the time. It's kind of in and out. Like, wow, Tarasenko actually did something. Yes, and it's Christmas almost. So Christmas and Christmas, but yeah, it finally happened. And yes, I hope Hunt can help replace Spurgeon in time. Yes, Steve, it's going to backtrack in there. I really hope so. Tony Perkle. Sorry, I'm not getting distracted with sounds here. My apologies. Tony Perkle says, Minnesota Wild have this season to convince Hughes to re-sign with an extra year over the summer. If he doesn't, GM Bill Guerin still has the option during 26-27 to recoup a fair amount of the trade value given up either before or during the unrestricted free agent season. So, yeah. Yes. Yep. So, if things don't, if there's clearly, no real indicator he's going to sign, I think, the Wild could still get a significant amount back. Yes. So, that's the good part. There's a real possibility there. I do appreciate that both Jay Bushy and Derek Felska have been putting hashtag BTWMN. It keeps things organized. Though in this case, thankfully with the poll, it's okay. But generally speaking, when you do hashtag BTWMN, it ensures 1,000% things will be organized. So It's okay, though, if you reply to a poll. That's kind of how it goes. Anyway, Derek says, Hughes expressed an interest to play with his brothers in New Jersey. Is the long game on this, the Wild coveting some players with the Devils? Simon Numacek, perhaps. I'm curious to see Hughes' body language. Will he be happy and motivated, or will he look dejected and exiled? So far, yes. At least when you hear the interesting conversation there with, well, when you heard Hughes conversate there, he is kind of just a generally soft-spoken person. That doesn't mean he's unhappy, and I know that's not what Derek's saying there. But yeah, he's not this super like, oh, he's not Anthony Edwards, basically. So, where he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Dropping F-bombs and whatever, but yeah, he's not Anthony Edwards or whatever. So, kind of a soft-spoken, gentle person. You could almost say he's kind of like Spurgeon, but like a super Spurgeon, like super-duper Spurgeon. But yeah, Tony Perkle was saying apparently New Jersey did take a big swing for Hughes. Hockey trades much more often than other sports. Yeah, they do happen a lot. It will feel ingrained to those who play. If Quinn Hughes isn't thrilled to be here, it's imperative GM Bill Guerin to get to try to get some of the value back. So conversation goes on for a bit, which is fine. It's not that long. Derek was saying the problem is the return may be reduced because they know we'll be desperate to move him at that point. Evan Johan says maybe, but any team he is traded to before September 15th next year can sign him for 8 years. So that's an incentive to get it done. Derek wraps it up saying, I don't think they will draw it out, but if he won't, it becomes a must-sell situation. True, and scary a little bit. That's the scary part of the trade. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. So this is all up in the air still. We're enjoying it right now and hoping that this ends up having a positive solution very soon. Yes, obviously, again, this is a story that hasn't been written yet, unfortunately. It's a chapter right now. So hopefully this ends up having a super happy ending in the not too distant future. Not only a contract acquisition, but a cup or two or more. But at least one. One for starters, because we've been waiting since 1967 for a Stanley Cup to come to Minnesota with that 7-year tribulation from 93 to 2000. But anyhow, tribulation, I always call it that. Anyhow, I better go. With that said, thank you so much for listening. Please put a positive 5-star rating if you could on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other app that allows you to do that. But Apple Podcasts, Spotify especially, please help this show continue to develop if you could. It's an old show, but it's still developing. Yes, shows are still developing. I'm not on some pedestal with millions of followers, not even tens of thousands. So I need some, obviously the show can still grow and still needs to grow. It'd be great. Thank you so much for listening. Shout outs to MNW Young Guns / MNW Prospects, Minnesota Wild Global, and of course the Creases podcast. With that said, thank you again so much, and we'll be back next week, and hopefully the Wild continue to do what they've been doing.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.